The U.S. and Turkey have reached a preliminary agreement to create the, quote, Islamic State Free Zone, a 68-mile stretch of territory controlled currently by ISIS. The U.S. has been conducting airstrikes there, but under this new plan, a U.S. official tells the AP that those attacks will accelerate now that the U.S. can launch strikes from within Turkish soil. We're going to go down to Capitol Hill, being joined now by Congressman Adam Schiff, Democrat in California and ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman, always a pleasure to see you.
Thanks, Jose. Good to see you,
Let me ask you about these new developments in the fight against ISIS. Does this represent an escalation in U.S. involvement there?
Well, it potentially represents an escalation in U.S. presence, but it certainly represents an escalation in terms of Turkey's participation. For a long time, we've been trying to get Turkey to close down that border, to stop this mutually destructive traffic of ISIS fighters going in, oil revenues coming out to help support ISIS. Now, I think with this bombing that took place in Turkey, Turkey has been motivated to take the fight in a more fulsome way to ISIS. But, Jose, there's something else going on here, too, and that is Turkey is as concerned about Kurdish autonomy and the growing strength of the Kurds in Turkey as it is about ISIS. And this poses, I think, a real concern and problem for us. We don't want to see a major fight between Turkey and the Kurds. The Kurds have proved to be a very effective fighting force on the ground in Syria, and we want the focus kept on ISIS.
This is so important, Congressman. I'm glad you bring this up. Let's talk a little bit about that, because I think Turkey has been so concerned about the Kurds and about what's happening in northern Iraq and how it could affect them. Is this a case of the Turks asking for help to fight their personal wars more than it is to fight terrorism?
Well, that's probably not how they're going to phrase it to NATO, but I think that's a big part of this. And there's certainly a substantial question as to whether Turkey would be taking such aggressive action now were it not for this growing Kurdish strength. And I think Turkey is concerned that as the Kurds grow in their presence in Syria, as they're able to create more of a contiguous Kurdish holding within Syria, then the fears that Turkey has about the viability of this Kurdish potential state become all the more pronounced. So we have to make sure that we're not drawn into that fight. We want to continue to work with the Kurds. We don't have many good partners on the ground in terms of ground forces.
Right.
And the Kurds have been very good fighters, and we want to keep that relationship going. So, yes, I think, Jose, part of the calculus here by Turkey is they can fight two foes at once. And let's just hope they're not using ISIS as a cover to go after the Kurds.
Schiff, thank you very much for being with me. So appreciate your time.
Thanks, Jose.